Welcome to 5 Minute 40k, the short, sharp look at all things hobby. Today we're having a look at some tournament winning lists using the new Sisters of Battle codex. First up, we've got Stephen Box from Vanguard Tactics, who went to the 40k Brawl Invasion Golgotha tournament. If you don't know Steve, he's got a great YouTube channel over at Vanguard Tactics, which you should definitely check out, and he's a very successful Blood Angels and Harlequins player, as well as using the Sisters, which does give some insight into his list choices here. He's taken a Bloody Rose Battalion, and up front in the no slot category, we've got a Hospitaller with the Book of St. Lucius relic to give her a 6-inch aura of her 6-up Feel No Pain. And interestingly, an Imperial Agent in the form of a Colexus Assassin, which gives you an anti-Psyker ability. It can't be targeted by psychic attacks, and Psykers within 18 inches must -2 from psychic tests or deny the witch tests they take. And it also gives you access to the Soul Horror stratagem for 2 CP, which gives an aura of Fight Last on enemy units within 3 inches of the Colexus. In the HQ slot, he's got a Canoness with a Blessed Blade, and he's given her the relic Iron Surplus of Saint Estella, shown on your screen here. It's one of my favourite relics, this, and it adds 1 to the bearer's wound characteristic, gives it a save characteristic of 2+, and effectively makes her permanent transhuman, so she can't be wounded on a wound roll of a 1 to 3. He's also given her the Warlord trait for the Bloody Rose, Blazing Ire, for the extra attack and the ability to advance and charge, and the Blessing of Rapturous Blows, which gives her +1 strength and damage on her Blessed Blade, and the miraculous ability, when turned on, that 6s to wound by her or Order Core or character units within miracle range of her are 1 mortal wound in addition to any normal damage. So a really tanky but also really fighty Bloody Rose Canoness here. He's got a Palatine in the HQ slot as well, with the Litanies of Faith relic allowing you to manipulate miracle dice, and the Warlord trait of Indomitable Belief to give +1 to the invulnerable save of Order Core infantry within 6 inches of her. Her blessing is the Word of the Emperor, the expensive one at 40 points, which gives a pickable Fight Last within 3 inches, and the miraculous ability that you can turn off enemy units' invulnerable saves within miracle range, so really handy for dealing with tough targets with low or high invuln saves. In the troop slot, we've got three 5-girl Battle Sister squads with bolters and chainsword on the superior. In the elite slot, 2 9-girl Celestian Sacrosanct squads with halberds, so nice use of the new model here. Interestingly, no Spear of the Faithful, it seems, on the superior in each squad, which I had thought was a bit of an auto take, but that might be a points thing, as they are 5 points a time. He's then got 3 Paragon Warsuits with the maces for some real anti-tank or anti-tough model ability. And also multi-melters, again leaning into that anti-tank. Then we've got 2 squads of Repentia, 1 9-girl, 1 8-girl, really building out that Bloody Rose punch. In the fast attack slot, we've got a unit of 5 Dominions with Storm Bolters for all that 1 CP Blessed Bolt mortal wound goodness, and 2 8-girl Zephyrim squads, each with the Pennant, which allows reroll charges on Order Core units within 6, and Zephyrim with Bloody Rose are really quite nice with all the attacks off their power swords. In a Supreme Command detachment, he's got Morven Val, who, as we all know, is an excellent pick and will really buff up the other units in the army. So a really nice Bloody Rose force here. Next up, we've got Timothy Bouta, who went to the Rage 40k Grand Tournament. I believe this was in Reno, Nevada. And he's got a double detachment setup with an Argent Shroud Battalion, led by, again, a Blessed Blade Canoness, this time with the Litanies of Faith relic, and the Blessing of the Emperor's Grace, which allows her to heal D3 wounds in the command phase, and turn on a miraculous ability that means the enemy cannot reroll hits, wounds, or damage on attacks against Order Core or character units that are in miracle range. He's also got Celestine in the Gemini Superior, who's the Warlord, and has her Warlord trait of Indomitable Belief for that +1 on the invuln. He's got 3 5-girl Battle Sister squads with bolters and a single multi-melter in each squad with a chainsword on the Superior, really leaning into that Argent Shroud anti-tank mobility. And in the elite slot, he's got a Dogmata, who he's given the hymns of the Refrain of Blazing Piety and the Catechism of Repugnance. This is done using the Sigil Ecclesiasticus to give that extra ability to cast an additional hymn. These give you targeted mortal wounds from the Refrain of Blazing Piety, and auto wounding on 6s and additional AP in half range on bolt weapons from the Catechism of Repugnance. Bear in mind she's also got War Hymn, so can be used to give an additional attack as well. In the fast attack slot, we've got another squad of 5 Dominions, again for that Blessed Bolt's goodness for mortal wounds, and a unit of Seraphim with 2 Hand Flamers in the squad. Again, maybe handy for doing actions and a bit of horde clearance when they drop in using the Deadly Descent strat. In the heavy support slot, we've got 1 unit of 5 Retributors with 4 Multi-Melters and 2 Armorium Cherubs. Again, really good in an Argent Shroud Battalion because of their rerolls and their ability to advance and act as if they haven't moved, so hit or to target and hit on full ballistic skill. You've got a Rhino with a Storm Bolter in the dedicated transport slot, And then paired with this is a Bloody Rose Patrol. This has a Repentia Superior who goes alongside the Repentia that sit in the elite slot. An HQ in the form of a Canoness, just a basic one with a chainsword, but with the Word of the Emperor Blessing, which allows the fight again, fight last, and no invuns using the Miraculous ability. A single squad of Battle Sisters with bolters and chainsword on the Superior, and in the elite slot 10 Celestian Sacrosants with maces and the Spear of the Faithful on the Superior. In the fast attack slot we've got 5 Zephyrim with the Pennant, again quite similar to Steve Box. And in the heavy support slot we've got 2 units of 2 Mortifiers, each carrying 2 heavy bolters and 2 flails, which give a decent chunk of attacks and a nice ability to really annoy the opponent by being quite tough to take down. And again in the dedicated transport slot we've got a Rhino with a Stormbolter. This is really interesting for me because this actually is similar to a list I'm thinking of putting together, really leaning into that shooting mobility from Argent Shroud and the sheer melee punch of Bloody Rose. But really nice to see something other than Bloody Rose, on its own at least, winning a tournament. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video and it's given you some ideas of what the sisters can do to be very competitive at the top level of tournaments. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below as to what you'd like to see covered in future episodes of 5 Minute 40k.